Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here with you. Oh my goodness, am I ever late with this video? As many of you know, I have been out of town. I've been in Utah saying goodbye to my sweet dear sister, Susan. And so we have been gone since Saturday. She passed away early Saturday morning, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we left that day. I think that was the 15th, and we just got back today, this afternoon. Today is the 24th, day after my birthday. It took 2.5 days, 2 full days of driving and a 4-hour day to get there. She was living in St. George, Utah, and then another 2.5 days to get home. So, and I will just say this for those of you that are perhaps thinking, and I've had so many kind words, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly, I would just hug you all if I could. But I have to share this honest truth with you, is that I am celebrating for my sister. So I've shed a few tears, but not hundreds and thousands of tears, because my sister, who is a few years older than me, she has suffered from mental health issues her whole life. And life has been really hard on her. And because of those mental health issues, there were times, that I had to distance myself for my own sanity. But I'm just so happy for her. She's had health issues that have just been quite severe these last several years, and she has wanted to go back home to heaven for so long. And so while I will miss her, and I celebrate her life, and I celebrate her, and I'm so happy for her. So how can I be so selfish and just be like, boo-hoo? Because she really, I know she's happy. I know she's thrilled. And Mom and Daddy are there, and my oldest sister, and now Susie, and my brother, 2 brothers, and there's just me and my older brother. There's just the 2 of us left. So anyway, enough of that. I'm not trying to be all sad or anything of that nature. So what I want to share with you is, I packed quickly, but I took my bag. This is my bag to work on my stuff, my embroidery stuff, my Roxy's journal of Stitchery. I was just like, I've got all those days of driving, so I'm going to get so much accomplished. You won't believe it. My friends, they'll be so happy for me, and they'll be like, oh, wow, Ronda, you did a whole bunch of stuff. Well, I want to show you. This is pretty much where we left it, because as I started opening up my bag to get everything out, guess what I forgot to take? That would be correct. This was left here in my studio. I'm just like, are you kidding me? And the only thing I had to work on, the only thing I had a while back, I had done a couple of patterns. And so I had a sheep and I had 2 little birds. But I did do those, and they were fun. And I will say that Rachel and Sarah are getting me to get out of my comfort zone. Normally, I just do an outline, and I wouldn't do, the satin stitch. And this one I did the satin stitch the wrong direction, lengthwise. So then I had to take some little short stitches so it almost looks like a bundle of straw tied together. But I'm like, hey, that's okay. Anyway, so I did get these little guys finished, and I'm sure in the upcoming months there will be something that I can use these for. If not in my book, then I'll use them for another project. But yeah, I was pretty sad. So this is what I'm working on today. And I have to apologize to the gal who asked me to show this roll, if you will. I don't know. I made this many years ago, and it's my sewing kit. And I have, I've created it doing pockets on both sides. So I've got a bunch of things going on here. And these are just, as you can tell, these are Ziploc bags. And if any of you are interested in knowing how to make that, I can do a video on that at some point. But just, put it in the description box below the video if you would like to see that. So anyway, for the sweetie that asked to show it, I apologize that I'm late, but this is it. This is many years old. I really need to take everything out and give it a good wash. It could use a little scrubbing, but it's worked great, and you can hold a ton of stuff in there. So anywho, we'll just kind of set that aside. So what I have to do now is decide what I'm going to put, what I'm going to do. I mean, I honestly don't know exactly where to go from here. I think I've decided that I'm going to put this lace piece, this, oh, so gorgeous, this beautiful vintage lace piece up here somehow. Not sure if I want it in the corner or if I want to bring it, over in. And I'm going to, maybe we can start on the flowers. That might be a good place to start. So let me just grab some of my embroidery threads, and let's just pick some fun colors. So how are you, my friends? I hope that you're doing well. I have missed you. I have really, really missed you. I went 9 days with only doing those 2 little teeny embroidery things that I showed you earlier, and that is it. That is it and everything as far as working with my hands and creating. So I just kind of like itching here to get busy. So I want some pretty, I've got some purple in here, so I think I might want to bring in some of that. I've got the silk, which is harder to work with, but it's shiny, real pretty. I've got some of this. Isn't that gorgeous? It just has this beautiful shimmer to it. But I've also got, and these are easier to work with, and I'll put some different colors in there too, but maybe we'll just pull that out and kind of get going. I know I am super, super behind, and I will do my best to catch up as quickly as I can, but it might take me a little bit. But I'm okay with that. I was gone for a very good reason, and I would, none of this. I mean, creating is amazing, it's wonderful, and it's fun, and it's fabulous, and all those other things, but it's nothing compared to people. and life and death, and, you know, people are important. Family's important. And it was very important that I support my sweet sister, her families. She had 4 daughters. Whoa. Okay. I told you this was kind of messy. Let's see. I don't know. We might switch gears here awful quickly. Let's see. So we've got the start and the finish. I can see that. Ugh. No, that can't be right. Can it? How many is that? Oh, wow. That's a lot more than 6, isn't it? See, I'm used to 6 strands. I'm not used to... How many? Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 strands. Well, you can tell that I haven't used this very much, and if I have, I've completely missed the boat. Okay. Well, let's give it a go. Let's give her the old college try and see what happens. If we mess up, oh well, that's not the end of the world, as they say. So how many strands do I want to use? Wait a minute. I don't know what's going on here. Now that looks like 6 to me. Am I just like seeing double, you guys? Or had they unfrayed even more from... I have no clue. I have no clue. And I'm nervous now. I'm like... And I'm not very good at this, you know, this kind of thing. Threading a needle has become rather a chore. If any of you have a place where I can get, you know, or a certain needle threader that you think is fabulous, do share. I think I mentioned before, maybe I didn't, but back in the day, I used to have several needle threaders, and I didn't see the point. I thought they were just, you know, kind of a pain. So I didn't really use them, and then eventually I got rid of them. So, but that does make using the, let's see, is that clear? But using the 6 strands, and I wrapped it 3 times, so I think that'll work nicely. And I may mix some of the silk with, whoops, I guess that'll work, with some of the plain, and see what happens with that. We'll just give it a go. Oh, I was so mad at myself when I got, you know, all set in the car, had everything in my lap and kind of spread out around me as we're driving, and you know, you've got so many hours in the car. It's like wanted something to do. And anyway, when I saw what I had done, I was not a happy camper. I was kind of beating myself up a little bit, thinking, what a dummy. And now I have a little knot back here. Okay, this is real. This shows you, I don't know what it shows you. I'm not very good at this. Well, I may not be able to unknot this. Okay. If I can't, then I'm just going to continue on. I'm just going to continue on. I'm just going to pretend that little puppy isn't there. All right, so let's try this again. Now, actually, I do need to, this is what Rachel said to do. When you get a knot in the back, just stitch it down. So, Rachel, that is exactly what I'm doing. Whoa, maybe. Wow, this silk thread stuff is like nuts. I think that may have been a crazy thing, maybe, for me to want to do there. But we'll just want to make sure I don't pop that out on the front. Okay. So that will at least hold it down so, it won't be a big problem. And I am just doing French knots. I prefer the French knot to the colonial knot for some reason. I don't, I suppose it just depends on what you're used to or what you like or what tickles your fancy. So I think I will, okay, try not to get any more loop-de-loops in the back there. I have enjoyed very much watching both Rachel and Sarah's videos on this February block. Wow. We just won't look at the back, you guys. We just won't look at the back. I'll tell you, there are some fabulous blocks, pages, blocks, whatever you're calling them, that are just, they're stunning. And, by the way, for those of you that are, in the group, I hope you will post your pictures as you get going. Absolutely post them in. Well, I had talked with Rachel about this before, and then she and Sarah talked, and they started their own. Ugh, that's not great. You know what? I'm just learning. I'm just not going to mess with it. Not going to mess with it. Anyway, then they started a group, a Facebook group as well. So, which is great. I'm totally thrilled. But if you'd like to post your pictures in our sweet little group, that would be awesome. Ooh. And it depends on how much participation we have, really. But there may be prizes. Okay. Well, that was a big, I don't like working with this yarn, this thread, this This is not my favorite. Okay. It just feels messy and it is messy, and I'm just, gosh, I am making such a, okay. Well, obviously you can see that Ronda is very unskilled at this kind of thing. But Ronda is perhaps too dumb to realize she can't do this. So she's going to continue to do this. Ugh. Before I take that icky thread up again, I'm now calling it the icky thread, I'm going to mitigate my pain with a little bit of an easier thread to work with. And I have heard, I don't know, perhaps you guys are more familiar and can tell me, I've heard DMC. This is where this gets not very delicious. This is not delicious, my friends. Oh, but it is so good just to, golly, just to sit here and visit with you, even though I'm totally screwing this completely up. It's still fabulous to be here with you. All right, let's get back. Now let's see if we can add some other elements. And now I used all 6 strands for those. So this one I'm going to wrap 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 times just to see about giving it some little more body. I don't know. That might be a mistake as well. So tomorrow morning I have my regular scheduled, this is where what I'm trying to do, this kind of popped up on me. I didn't get a good wrap and down. So I'm trying to just kind of go over it a little bit and see if I can, I don't know, make something work. Make something work. And I think I will also take this with me tomorrow to my infusion. I visit with the doctor. Before my infusion appointment, I visit, or the way it has been is I visit with him every 6 weeks. He wanted me to have a bone density scan, and I don't know what happened with the insurance or the scheduling or whatever it was, but that was 6 weeks ago, and I didn't get a call for anybody to actually schedule it until Friday, as we're driving, Friday, which Friday was the funeral, my sister's funeral. And what was I saying? And then the nurse or whoever was doing the scheduling, she's like, the doctor wanted you to have it before your appointment on Tuesday. Could you come in? And what was it she said? She said, we don't have anything available that day, Tuesday, before your appointment. Could you come in Monday? And I said, no, I'm sorry, can't come in Monday because we're driving home from Utah. We'll be on the road. And she's like, okay, well, let me get with your doctor and we'll get back with you. And, of course, they don't work on weekends. So we're on the road today and I get a call. Had to count. There's 6. Had to count. And she said, I know you're on the road today and you weren't able to come in. Would you be able to come in the morning before your appointment? Dr. Doro wants the scan done before he sees you. And so anyway, long story short, I go in the morning at 8 o'clock for that and then head on over to the cancer center for my regular appointment and such. I just think it's kind of funny how, she had said Friday that they didn't have any appointments on Tuesday. Could I come in Monday? And then she's like, Dr. Dora wants to see you before. So I'm like, I'm thinking that sometimes doctors have a little bit of pull in appointments and such. So if I bumped anybody, somebody else's appointment, I'm very sorry. I would not have done that, but anywho. And it's just, this I think is just routine. It's just, the normal whatever of kind of my new normal, but I'm okay. I mean, I'm totally good. 4, 5, 6. I'm like, I can't talk and count. You can see I can't talk and count at the same time. Okay. Well, I'm kind of liking this, you guys. So I think I'm going to go ahead now and off camera, I'm going to do some other, just work some more a little bit on this. And I think what I may do is do 3 of these. I've got 5 flowers, 3 in one style and 2 in another style or another color. Not sure. But you'll see it in just a second. But for me, it might be a day or so. All right, I will be back, you guys. Okay, I have been working on this. I have done 2 of these with the sparkly silk combined with the other purple. And then I'm going to do 3 with this other lavender. Quite frankly, I hate working with the silk. Ugh. I know. I just be nice. It was stressful, you guys. Just not my thing. And now I am only wrapping twice because I'm using 6 strands now for my French knots. And I don't know if you have guessed. Can you guess what my flowers might be? Anyway, yeah. So I've been working on this. We are leaving in just a few minutes to go and celebrate my daughter-in-law's and my birthdays. My birthday was yesterday, the 23rd, and her birthday was the 22nd. So we are exchanging gifts and doing dessert. So that'll be fun. Pull through. I'm just finding it much easier to do these French knots. Although, it's it's a little tough pulling through all these layers, but so much easier than with the silk thread. I guess it's way too advanced for this gal. And I haven't decided yet whether I am going to add a different color. Like here, I did two different, I've got the shiny, a little bit different than the other purple, and I may do another color in amongst this lavender as well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with these French knots, and we shall forge ahead, my friends. We shall forge ahead. It's about time to let this one be done for the day and get another thread. I'm not great at finishing, so sometimes I just cheat and do a knot in the back. I start with a knot. I figure, that's going to be okay too. So I'm going to stop. I'm not stopping the video for you, but I'm going to take time out because I'm going to go celebrate. But for you, it will just be, it just continues on. And we will see what we see. I'm liking this, though. I'm loving bringing the purples up into here. So, all right. Okay, I am back. Miracle of camera work and all that other good stuff. Oops, let me cut off my band. I have been for my doctor's appointment and infusion now, and it was just, a second that I was here. Okay, so I feel really good about my lilacs that I have made. It ended up that I added a third color of purple in here, and then I mixed lavender and white for these other three, and I'm really happy with that. So I think we'll let that lie. Now this is the problem, right? And I figure when it's becoming a problem, you either have to just suck it up and do it, or I need to move it away and begin another project. So this is kind of what I was thinking of doing, only cutting it just a little bit more narrow on both sides so that I could just stitch this down, just random stitching. I think I just do, like a cream or an off-white, just to tack it down here, and that will cover, that way my stems won't just be poking out in La La Land. I also thought about doing something greenish or, making some tall grass shoots coming out here, which we could do. But I believe that I kind of like the way that this is oriented. You've kind of got this going up, this going that way, this, and anyway, so this kind of fits nicely here. Not sure about up there, but let's go ahead and trim this down. And I will update you with my appointment. It was very, very good. I had a pelvic bone density scan this morning. Had to be there at 8. And then from there we went over to the cancer center, which is just behind the hospital, the clinic side where I have the density test done. And the bone density was like a piece of cake. It was nothing. It was very simple, wow. Would that everything was so pleasant. Let's see. Okay. See, I'm kind of liking that. Alrighty. So, here again, we're just going to slap down just a little bit of glue just to hold it for a minute. Just for a minute. We want to make sure this is right side out. Crochet work does have a right and a wrong side. Now, wait a minute. See, if I lifted these little guys up, bear with me, and I did this kind of like an under thingy, an under thingy. In fact, all right, let's do this again. Let's try one more time, babies. Okay, I like that better. It adds a little more texture, layering, and I will trim off a little bit more on the edge, maybe. We'll see. Okay, this is looking really good so far. So what I'm going to do here is, let me grab my quilting thread and I am going to just I want a small enough needle that it's just going to be very, oh, that's a long one. I don't really want necessarily a long needle. This isn't my needle holder, by the way. This is my pin cushion. Ah, there's another. What the heck? Yeah. Okay. Fine. We can deal with that. Well, they're all long. Okay, fine. We'll move over to this little guy. You just can't keep us down. All right. Here's a quilting needle, actually. I used to actually hand quilt. Now even the thought of hand quilting and is just like, wow, say what? You want me to what? Do what? Okay, so the doctor appointment. Saw Dr. Doro, and he was very happy. Things are going very well. So that's really it. I see him in another 6 weeks. They're going to do another PET scan at that time. But his plan is for me to live for many, many years. And I'm okay with that. So, we shall see. Okay, now let's just go ahead. We're going to move on to this little guy. I don't necessarily want this to be... I don't want anything to take away, I guess, from this crochet, this piece of antique, or maybe it's vintage. I don't know if it's... I was able a few years ago to go to a sale with a friend of mine at a a college, little extra shop, thrift shop or something like that. The students can go anytime, when they're open, but for the public, you can only go on Friday from a certain time. And she's the one that introduced me to the place. And they just had all kinds of fun odds and ends. And at one time, they were getting rid of, in their sewing, one of the sewing classes, textile classes, they were getting rid of a lot of examples of work, and they had just some amazing embroidery and no, not embroidery. I got embroidery on my brain here. They had some amazing laces, crocheted laces and things, and I was able to pick up a bunch of them for very little cost. And so I have been using those in my work for several years now. And obviously, as you get going and you use them, then, you know, eventually you run out. So I don't have nearly the amount that I used to, but I have been very grateful for how they have lasted me so long. And I believe that this is one of those pieces. So it is somebody's work of art. And I'm amazed, and I think it's really fun and interesting how, you know, we reinvent, but it's, you know, everything that's old is new and everything that's new is old, you know. This whole idea of, say, slow stitching, it's not, you know, it's not a new concept. They didn't really call it slow stitching, I don't believe, or at least I had not known of it by that name. But certainly handwork and embroidery work and that kind of thing has been around for many, many years and generations. And so now, and I think that they've gone a little further with it, you know, made it perhaps a little more interesting and doing maybe more like with mixed media and that type of thing. But if you wait several years, fashions and everything, they kind of come back in after a while with maybe a new little twist or something. But yeah, so I am just, as you can see, I am just stitching this down. My plan is to have this crochet be the star of this right here. And obviously I am not going to be washing this this fabric book. This is not going to happen. So I don't have to treat it in the same way that I would if I were going to wash something. Because this is just, you know, this is going to be a book. And this has just been super fun to join Rachel and Sarah and their mother. Mum. I love that term, mum. I love I love their accents. It's just so fun. Okay, so that is stitched on these 4 sides. And I will go ahead and also tack down in, I think, random places just to make sure that I am getting all of this so it's not coming up anywhere. And I think I'm just about to call it quits for this video. I'm not sure how long that I've been going. I hope it hasn't been too long. My goal is always to just be able to chat with you guys. I love you and just enjoy visiting with you and sharing what's going on in my world, and it's fun sometimes when you share what's going on in yours, and just that we can do things separately and yet together. I love our creative community. I really do. and I enjoy watching many other creators' videos, and Rachel is one of my favorites. So this is a super fun project for me to do at this time. I don't know, I haven't done any embroidery work for years, and I used to as a girl. My mother and my older sister taught me how, and I did it off and on here and there, and I've never done anything, you know, in a video before as far as showing. But mine are good to watch if you want to feel comfortable with your lack of acumen, because you can look at mine and you can go, oh yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing, so I feel happy. It'll make you feel better, okay? Oh dear. Funny stuff. But I have loved working on this, and I can't wait to see what our project will be for February. I'm going to try to get this video up as soon as I possibly can, because it should have been up last Friday. And as you know, that was not possible for me to do last Friday. And I'm late on all of my videos. I do apologize, my dear friends. I will try to catch up as quickly as I can with everything. The one I may have to just not do for this particular time is the one that should have been out on Sunday, the journaling, personal journaling. Okay, you know what? I think I will call it a day for this. I still have more work to do. I'm going to want to do some things in here. I think I might do a little blanket stitch around this embroidery. And then I'm going to definitely want to do something that can stand out, you know, to make that pop a bit as well. But we'll call it good for today. So thank you so much for joining me. As always, I love you guys and hope that you are well and enjoying what you are doing. I'd love it if you're not a regular subscriber. I would love it if you'd consider doing that and giving this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed what I've done here today. Until next video, guys, please have a fabulous day. Bye-bye now.